Code triage external has been activated. Earthquake and suspected terrorist activity.
My name is Amir Dan Rubin. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and I'll be serving as the Incident Commander. First thing we'd like to do is assign some roles here as we get our Incident Command Center going. I'd like to review what the situation is, and I'd like Victor to give us a summary of that situation. Victor.
Early this morning there was a large earthquake here in Southern California. As a result, most municipal and emergency response agencies have been working at full capacity. Medical center is okay. There were a few outages and issues, but that was taken care of. An unknown agent was released to the Simon Wiesenthal Museum of Tolerance. A plane was reported spraying some kind of aerosol over certain areas of Los Angeles. There may have been a possible attack at the West LA Veterans Administration Hospital across the freeway. And there are reported attacks on some ships and planes and other transportation throughout the area.
So what we have here today is an emergency preparedness drill being coordinated by the National Guard in conjunction with the Army and Homeland Security.
Make sure everybody can talk to each other.
It's a region-wide drill involving external agencies from the region and outside the region. The scenario includes an earthquake followed up by terrorist attacks at several sites around town.
3 groups of patients are coming. 2 of them by ground, 1 of them by helicopter.
I just wanted to reconfirm that you understand that potentially contaminated patients may be coming via helicopter.
Military Black Hawk helicopters will be providing support and additional supplies, and we'll have to interact with military as well. So it should be a good opportunity for us to practice our emergency preparedness.
When we go into a code triage disaster mode, we have a team of people who show up to the emergency department here to help process the patients. Clinicians and physicians and nurses, respiratory therapists, of course, and also environmental services and patient escort to move the patients, and admissions and registration people to get their information.
We were presented with a 7.9 earthquake, followed by a terrorist attack on the Museum of Tolerance in Los Angeles. And basically the terrorists took advantage of the earthquake situation and used the chemical that they were making at the VA Medical Center, transported it to the Museum of Tolerance where they wanted to deliver it, and got wrapped up in a collapse, and they had to be evacuated themselves. So earthquake, terrorist attack with a biological and chemical substance, and then that led to the mass decon at where we're at now.
It came from Haskins. We turn it on. Just received.
Who's Haskins and who's the trailer?
The trailer's decon trailer.
Okay.
And Haskins is the person over there that authorized the request.
Ricin is what we were just told. Dr. Morgan's researching it, but it's a chemical agent produced by a plant, is my understanding. RICIN. We activate these tents when we have patients coming in, either where we anticipate the emergency department might be overwhelmed, so we activate these tents so that we can treat and triage external, or like in this situation where we understand there may be people in the community contaminated with a biological or chemical agent. We don't want them in the hospital or emergency department contaminated, because they can shut us down. They come in and contaminate our staff. So we have a process by which we treat and triage them here. And if they're dirty and contaminated, we put them in a vehicle and bring them over to the decontamination facility. Wash them down, where there's a decontamination team as well as clinical support.
Command Center, this is Jason. I have a total of 15. 1 immediate who is in an ambulance on the way to decon. In that ambulance, I also have 3 additional ambulatory patients.
We will be having actors who will be playing roles of patients, who will arrive at the emergency department, who will flood the system. We will have to deal with that. We'll have to redeploy resources. We'll have to decontaminate patients. As a leading academic medical center and regional resource center, UCLA is participating in this drill to practice its emergency preparedness skills.
This is a part of a huge regional drill, and their time frames are flexible. So we're going to get the patients when we would normally get them, and that's real life. We don't know. We're doing all this in about 3 hours, so it's a very compressed time frame, which causes some problems, but also highlights problems.
Well, here at UCLA, we are a tertiary academic medical center known for our research, teaching, and our patient care. And as a tertiary academic medical center, people within the region and across the country look to us for expertise. I absolutely feel that this drill was worthwhile and that drills are important. And we do multiple drills a year. We always learn from drills. While we believe we're well prepared and while we believe we have excellent staff and physicians and resources, we always believe we could be better.
Well, I can tell you that I'm thoroughly impressed with UCLA, and I mean that sincerely. I've seen a lot of other hospitals and entities that practice decontamination operations, and I am just thoroughly impressed. I've also been up in the EOC and thoroughly impressed with the organization that's going on up there. I came in and briefed in there this morning, and they took my information and were already using some of the stuff that I had given them. The disaster is more than likely going to be in more than one spot. We saw that at 9/11. We saw it in the train attacks in Tokyo and in London and in Spain.
You got the 2 criticals and you're driving. Go.
And we know that they're going to attack in multiple spots. So that strategic level is we need to be practiced at. The senior leadership need to be talking, as well as at the tactical level where I'm at. Firefighters working together, police working together, FBI working together, preserving evidence, all of those things, saving lives.
And no one else is to go who's possibly respiratory or possibly had an exposure, so they need to come back?
Once they're clean, they come out and they are triaged, they're brought back here to be triaged and possibly admitted, treated, or whatever their condition dictates. Other activities behind the scenes when a code triage disaster is declared in our hospital, the blood bank inventories their blood supplies. They coordinate with the Red Cross and start identifying backup blood supplies in the region. Same thing happens in respiratory therapy, who starts to mobilize extra ventilators and their staff. Staff are called in, they don't go home a shift change and a declared disaster. So we also start to activate our clinical support. Laundry and linen service starts mobilizing their blankets and gowns. Nutrition mobilizes their food. We start mobilizing because we know the patients who might be here a long time or victims are going to possibly get hungry, they're going to get cold, they're going to need those kind of services. Spiritual care starts mobilizing, clinical social work, because we're going to need some critical incident stress debriefing.
Here at UCLA, we really do pride ourselves in the incredible staff that we have and their commitment to patient care and excellence. And we believe in the goodness of people, but we are a tertiary, highest level academic medical center, and we pride ourselves in being ready to take care of the most complicated situations. So our research, our teaching, our training of our staff is built around taking care of the most complicated of the complicated of patients. So for us, these are the kind of drills that we do participate in. We hope that we should never have to execute these things, or sometimes there's situations that come up on a smaller day-to-day basis that, relative to the severity of a drill like this, seem relatively routine. So these drills help us even handling the day-to-day situations.